So I'm here with Gerrit Kemming, MD of Quintus Studios. Gerrit, good to see you again.
Good to see you, Justin. Thanks for having me.
Not at all. It's always great to have a chat with really one of the pioneers in the digital video space.
Thanks very much.
This year, it's really interesting that MIPCOM is focusing more on creator economy and perhaps more of the subjects that you're very much involved with. How do you see how the market has evolved over the last 12 months in particular when it comes to digital video and the merging of these worlds of traditional TV and YouTube, for example?
I think, so when I was here last year, exactly 12 months ago, right? So my feeling was that market, that even the last person in the industry finally realized there is something going on in TV, right? Which has been for the last decade. But but I think there, especially in the last 12 months, everyone understood there is something going on. And as usual in the industry, when there is a disruption, everyone is looking for what is the next big thing, right? And whereas fast was the big buzzword 3, 4, 5 years ago, now it's YouTube, right? For the last 12 months, it was. I think the difference is that YouTube can prove that it will be the future because it is by far the biggest platform of watching video and TV on the planet. So this will not just be a trend, it's going to be the future. And that is my feeling, that even the big broadcasters, networks, all the big content companies now shift to YouTube. Not fully, of course, but as part of their future plans.
Yeah, it's almost like future-proofing their businesses. They're finally, why is it taking them so long? Because you've been, like you said, it's the last decade or so that you've been working at Quintus Studios and working with YouTube and building free documentary, for example, which is, how many followers, subscribers?
Well, that channel alone is like roughly 6 million. In total, we have in our network over 16 million subscribers.
Yeah. So why do you think it's taken so long for these traditional media businesses to realize the opportunity and the threat, I suppose, of YouTube?
Yeah, well, it's the classical innovators dilemma, right? So they had this big cash cow business with TV and broadcasting, and if they would feed their future enemy, why would they, right? There was this point where they should have realized there is no way how this will ever die. It will come up, and they could have turned a bit earlier into it. But I think they were just playing on their cash cow business and trying to hold it up as long as possible. Who could blame them, right? But now they realize we need to do something on there, and with their strength and their money and their power, they become a big player on YouTube. So I don't know if it's too late for them. It's just they now changed. So YouTube now really changes, and also going into the professional long form content business. It has always done as part of the big range of content that is on that platform. But it feels like now there is a real focus also for YouTube to go towards the big professional industry world, and vice versa, right? And that is that. So those words just merge now.
Yeah.
So that is really interesting, I guess.
Yeah. And then we talked about free documentary. You mentioned that a minute ago. But how is your business evolving in terms of the type of content and the channels that you're building and the genres that you're operating in?
Yeah. Well, I said that we started about a decade ago with our first YouTube channel. But what we did was, so we weren't really a digital company back then, because we had digital channels, but the content was still very much TV centric, right? So what we did was we just bought or licensed content and curated them into channels. And then the channels grew so much that we were able to produce our own content for our channels. But because the channels were all fueled by professional TV content, the content that we were producing also had to be TV content. And for us, it was also good because we were still the global licensing agency, so we could sell the stuff that we produce for our channels into the linear world outside of our footprint, right? So that totally made sense. But especially in the last 3, 4, 5 years, where, as I said before, those two worlds merged, we also realized there is a content world that is really interesting, not only in terms of flexibility, but also in terms of revenues, that is outside of the TV content part, right? So what we started is a strategy and departments that look into content that is purely digital, that is where TV doesn't play a role anymore. That is creator-focused formats, that is building up channels with content, what we call, for example, Gen Z docs, where we create or where we develop ourselves as a faceless creator world. So all this part is becoming very interesting. The problem with that is that this is not user-generated content, you know, Gerrit walking around with his mobile phone and, you know, filming this yacht down there. It's really professional, so that means it's complex and it's also expensive to produce this stuff. And without having TV as a second revenue source besides YouTube, so TV as license your content and get the license money, you need to have a second revenue source, and that is more and more the brand's world, right? So, and that is also very interesting. The role of brands in the future, they have always played a big role, but it will be even more crucial to see brands as kind of like broadcasters themselves or co-financiers in the production process.
Looking forward 12 months, which is always a challenging thing to do when it comes to digital video.
Very long one.
but where do you want Quintus Studios to be the next time we come round to MIPCOM? You know, what is your ambitions for the business that we can talk about in 12 months' time?
Yeah. Well, that's a good question. Yeah, it's a long time in the digital world, but yeah. So I mean, we are on the way to what I would call a 360 content studio in the creator economy world. That is a very long and uncatchy word, but what I mean with that is we will still do our TV content channel business. That is at the moment still our core business. We will still produce for this in cooperation with linear channels, probably even more so, because especially in the past 12 months, what we felt was like the TV world with their, you know, downcoming budgets go exactly into what we've been doing for the last 5-6 years, right? Producing on low budgets, on a really decent and good level of quality. So we might even do more in that space, but at the same time, we will grow our Gen Z doc channels. We will grow our digital format content departments. And so from linear to purely digital, and everything in between, we will do the full range of content.
All right. Well, I look forward to catching up in 12 months' time, and we'll see how much of that you've achieved. Yeah. I'm sure you'll achieve all of that. Quintus Studios, I think, is a really interesting business and an interesting template for everybody to follow. But Gerrit, thanks very much.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Thanks.